You ready? I'm ready. Set the warp.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. My name is V.
Ryerson.
Welcome to Retro Rewind
Days
of Old. Yes, where we talk retro games. And this is
we do.
the aftermath of Eternal Darkness, because we beat that shit. It took forever.
Yes, it did.
This is how we're gonna start it, okay? That's the one problem I had with this game. It's too long, man.
I can understand that. But as for the story, did it keep you involved though?
It did. It lost me a bit in the beginning. It was kind of slow. It wasn't explaining jack shit. And I really wanted to play as Alex because that's what got me when we were first talking about Eternal Darkness before the stream started.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started going, like I knew I was going to go play a Roman. And then when I started going back I'd only play as Alex for like all 2 minutes. And then I was back into another past scene. And I was like, I just want to find out what's going on in the mansion. Now, as I was playing, I realized that doing so was bringing me up to the mansion. But I'm still not a fan of the fact that I only got to play as Alex for one chapter. And that was the very end.
I can understand that, but she's the most influential character in the game, though, because essentially, okay, with what you was doing was she was reading the events up to her chapter.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. But by doing so, she was gaining all the knowledge of the ancients of her ancestors to give her the strength to combat the evil Bodhi guy,
Yeah.
Augustus.
The evil nipple.
The evil nipple. But the question I have to ask is, did you see or did you get the implements of the RPG that I was talking about before we actually started playing the game?
No. I didn't see a lick of RPG in that game.
Okay. The implements of RPG that I was hinting at was with the magic. Okay. The reason why is you had a choice whether you was going to either go melee or use magic for combat. Use both.
Oh, so yesterday during the American Truck Simulator stream, because we didn't end up playing the final game, which will be Silent Hill Origins, and that'll drop tomorrow at 5 a.m. Tomorrow being Tuesday. Happy Monday morning, you guys, by the way. But that's why I said I feel like the RPG aspect that you were going on about is very loose. Very one fucking corner of it kind of situation.
Yes. It's the fact that they didn't bring it more into focus of the game because they still wanted it to be in the spectrum of horror. What I was referring to, magic actually had a leveling system.
Yeah, based on the base rune you used.
No. You had tier 1 magic, which was a 3-point.
Yeah.
You had tier 2, which is the 5-point.
Yeah.
You have tier 3, which is the 7-point. And then there's a tier 4, which is a 10-point. Which you never got.
Do you get that first playthrough?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
Most people can't find it. You can, Most people can't find it. If you noticed that in the last battle, he was using very, very superior magic to you. The majority of the fight.
Yeah. It took me a while to figure out the final fight that I had to fuck up his little creature, not him.
The invisible creature that he had summoned.
Yeah, but I can only hurt it with the enchanted weapon. That was my favorite part of the whole fight. I didn't really give a shit about fighting him. It was the battle between the two summons in between the cutscenes, and then the fact that I was like hitting him with each ancestor going through. That was a pretty cool touch. But I liked when the jellyfish and eyeball Jimmy were fighting.
Yeah, it's a really cool sequence. There's three different endings. There's 3 different battles that take place. That's the reason why the other playthroughs play through each one of them. There's a 4th magic. Technically 5. One is hidden, which is the yellow.
Right.
Purple you can obtain quite easily.
So, in the beginning, I had to pick like a red, blue, or green thing. Was I just picking my summon?
He's picking his.
I was picking his summon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so if I would have picked a different one in the beginning, it wouldn't have been a jellyfish.
It wouldn't have been a jellyfish.
My question is, why jellyfish? All the creatures in the he put up so much hype, like it's gonna be the end of the world. It's a fucking jellyfish from the ocean, bud.
Well, you did pick blue. Think about it. Jellyfishes are part of the ocean. Oceans are blue.
I mean, I get it. It's a water type Pokemon.
Damn it. True. I summon you. Gotta catch them all.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'll be here all week, guys.
But as you're going through the ancestors, which one was your favorite of the ancestors?
Probably Pops.
Grandpa? Edward?
Yeah, Edward's. Well, because my whole intrigue point of that story was just figuring out how he died. Now, do I think how he died gave justice to how hyped they made it? No. I was a little disappointed.
He was a little disappointed with that?
A little disappointed. The whole mission, and I was like, oh, we get to find out how he's going to die. And he died because Buddy came back after so many years and was like, oh, look at him peacefully reading a book. I'd like to see him go out. Like, he got up from reading the book, and he just fucking, like, he fought it. And fucking it grabbed his nuts, and then cut his head off or something.
So you think that that creature just cut off his head, and that was it?
That's why, well, that's how the game depicted it to me.
If you think about the actual gameplay, if that creature in particular goes into your body, possesses you, wears you as skin.
Oh yeah, I guess if you look, yeah, I guess if you read between the lines, it's pretty dope. But the way they depicted it, like,
yeah,
it would have been cool if they showed that.
I agree.
Right?
Yes. You have to remember, this is like Nintendo's very first try of an M-rated horror game ever.
I mean, like for first try, it was damn well brilliant for Nintendo standards. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'ma pick it apart.
Well, that's why we're here.
That would have been badass. But to me, it looked like he just got his head cut off.
Yeah, I wish that they would have actually depicted it as the creature was going into him and forcefully ripped his head apart. Yeah, that. That's.
I love how the ending. You have to summon, deadly killing machine to help you out, and then at the end of it, you got to capture it again. before it destroys, and you got to do it all over again.
But yeah, you let one of the other creatures or gods, as they are called,
Picked it in the game, yeah.
um, loose.
But okay. Oh, so here's another thing based on that part. So when Pops is all like, "We need to fucking put it back where it belongs," and you have to pick the ruin to do it, and you're like, a binding one, and I'm like, "There's not one here that says bind. What are you talking about?"
Okay, what I was saying is just like earlier when you was first in that. I said summon spell. That was a massive. Like what you was doing was you was casting a giant spell.
Yeah.
You know how. So when I said bind, I was actually talking and referring to a binding spell.
And it ended up being protect, which is that circle thing. And I only knew that because Pops was like, "It's the circle thing." So I'm like, well, there's only one circle here, so it's got to be that one. Because you came in right as I was getting ready to start the fight, and I ended up having to go back and grab the summoning ruin, because you know how it goes through each one you've picked, and if it's wrong, it does like a and it doesn't work. Yeah, I ended up having to go back because when it happened, I was like, "Oh, that's why he said pick that one." That makes sense.
Came in late, but no.
It took right till the end of the game to figure out, like, to fully get grasp on how making new spells worked and what each one meant based on like protect, project, and all that other stuff. So by the time I was like, it was like that one didn't work, and I had to go pick summon. That's when I was like, "Oh, I'm an idiot. That makes perfect sense."
But yeah, like the entire game, you was using a base. That's what I was saying. That's why the RPG aspect or pseudo RPG aspect, majority of the game, you was doing melee and enchant. Yeah. Some dispels and stuff when it was required. That was predominantly what you was doing until you got to the first major boss, which was the Black Guardian. With what's his name? Not Anthony.
With the monk?
With the monk. Yes.
Was it the monk? That thing I had to use the damage spell to do it, where it cast it out like a wave.
Yes, that was your first. That was your actual first use of the actual magic attacks. Because you see, when I would play through, I would trap them and use the damage barrier and trap my enemies and stuff like that, and use that aspect of the magic.
Right. That's another thing I didn't really like, though. I didn't like how the final boss was relatively much easier than that one that we're talking about right now, because that one took me a few tries. Once I figured out the last boss, that was it. It was a one-hit show.
The final boss was a little lackluster. I admit to that. I wish that there was more involved. Like, I honestly wish that they would have brought in like a mini version of the god, and you had to combat that, or a classic multi-tiered boss battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, like, I'm just getting some of the things I don't like off my chest about it. But other than, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed playing the game. I had a lot of fun. It's a great fucking game. And there's a couple times where the sanity stuff got me, like when the head exploded. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Right? Or I thought it was deleting my game, stuff like that. So, like, I enjoyed it. And then the bathtub scene with Alex. That made me jump. That was a good one.
There's one section that you're completely forgetting about. Okay? You guys can check it out on the YouTube channel. It's hilarious. He's walking by the statue.
Yeah.
And the head moves. And you turn around and you're like, I don't know if I should hit this or not. And you're just standing in front of it.
Well, because I wasn't expecting it to turn its head.
I still remember you saying, I don't think you're supposed to do that. Dude, I legitimately, that made my night right there when you did that, because your sanity was low and you didn't realize that was the sanity messing with you. And then later on, when you went back through and you had higher sanity, that it was still moving and you stopped again. You're like, wait a second. You're not supposed to be doing that right now. Yeah, that was one of the sections that I was hinting at earlier, that the statues and stuff like that would actually come alive, and it made you pause.
Oh, I wasn't expecting it whatsoever, because I turned the corner to go check out the door down the hall, and all of a sudden this statue's just following me, and I'm like, I don't recall you doing that before. I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Oh, there's so many good moments in this. It's unreal.
What was I saying?
When you got lost with Robert or Roberto down there trying to figure out all the excavation spots.
Oh yeah,
you had to search. But yeah, they're in the excavation spots, and I remember you asking me. I had no idea at that moment. I seen the X spot, and I was just like, I think, if I remember right, those are the spots that you've already checked. And you kept on cycling through the maps. That was the one spot that you needed to check, and it took us like an hour to figure that out. It was just like,
oh yeah, that drove me insane.
I was like, oh man, Kenny, I know you haven't played this game in forever, but to forget that? Oh, dude, come on. But yeah.
Oh, I remember what I was saying. So, the one thing that was driving me nuts over time is I absolutely hated that I'd be doing a spell, something would fucking shock me, and I'd lose the magic, and I'd have to redo the spell. That would drive, me insane. On top of that, listen, you can only listen to Ura Zuma, Ida Ura Goomba for like so long. And 15 hours is too long to be listening to that.
I agree. The repetitive nature of the magics was kind of ridiculous, but the reason why is because the spells that you were casting were too long to counter the attack magic spell that they were casting, and you was getting hit with them with magic spells. If you would have picked a lower one, it would have altered the timing.
Right.
You was picking 7-point when that monster, you should have been using a 3-point.
That was driving me crazy.
Yeah. But what was the good moments? We obviously there you had your faults for the game. What's the positives of this game? What would bring somebody to play this game?
So the first thing that pops out is the game fucking with you. I love the sanity system. Sanity system was a good call. I don't know any other games that do that besides that one.
I still don't understand why games haven't implemented that at all. Such a good system.
I'm not sure. enjoyed the combat. Combat was simple. I think picking the body parts. Yeah, liked picking the body parts. The story I found interesting, which is a big deal because if I thought the story sucked, I probably wouldn't have liked this game.
Yeah, the complexity. That's why. I knew once you got into like the actual meat and potatoes of the game itself that you would start to really like the plot.
Right. Because I had fun playing it, but I had a lot of my fun was coming from I was more intrigued with what the story was, how the story was unfolding. So I think if the story was shit, the gameplay, in my opinion, might not have held up enough for me to enjoy it as much as I would have.
Mm-hmm.
And the puzzle system, the puzzles weren't too hard, so that was nice. I know some games the puzzles are fucking impossible.
Yeah, they did keep the puzzles relatively simple, and I'm kind of glad that they did, because if it was a super complex puzzle and you had to deal with the amount of combat that you was also dealing with, it would have been too much.
Yeah. Okay, let's watch some clips here. Watch some clips that have been made. There's been a lot. So I'm gonna share my screen with you here. All right, you see that? Okay, so let's just pick at random. What is this game doing? So this clip is called "What is this game doing?" By the way, if you're listening to this on Spotify or any of the podcast platforms besides YouTube, you can find the video version of this podcast over on the Retro Rewind Days of Old YouTube channel, where you can see these clips. But we'll try and explain what's going on for everybody listening. Usually, I'm assuming everybody's at work. All right, so this clip is what is this game doing? Okay. Oh, this is when all of his body parts were coming off. I've lost an arm. We're breaking, boys. We're fucking breaking. I am a walking torso. How the fuck is this game doing? So that clip, I'm just I'm literally in the trenches, and I'm walking, and my head's falling off, my arms are falling off, and at some point my entire torso disappears, and I die. But I didn't actually die.
The good old sanity system. Ooh.
What's this one? Guys, I hear the voices? Oh, man. Use the trapper for the hole? Okay, 1 sec. Oh, this was my birthday stream.
Yep. I think somebody in chat hit you with the voices, and you was like, "Yeah, the voices."
Yeah. So in that clip, I got commands in chat that people can use, and one got used that set off like whispering voices to try and scare me, and I just reacted to it. Funny. After 40 minutes, I figured this out. Oh, what is this one? Oh, with the trapper. Ah, good call, dude.
Dude.
Nice. Let's go.
Did take you like I think it took you like 45 minutes to get that figured out. Because you left, he was like, screw that ring of power, that circle of power, I'm not going to get it. I was just like, you have to have it.
Yeah, well, because I didn't so in that one, in that clip, you had to go through this hole after summoning a trapper, and then summon the body to what I call the afterlife. That's what it's like, the in between the afterlife. And then you can go through the door, because you couldn't just go through the door before because the body was blocking it. And it took me so long to figure it out, because there were times where I would summon the trapper and then I'd get so far and it'd disappear. It would just stop working. And I'm like, fuck off. All right,
Let's housekeeping one.
Let's watch. Okay, we'll watch the housekeeping and then move on. The house. What was this one? Uh-oh. Housekeeping. Buddy walks in, kills everybody in the room as a flashback, and, well, you need somebody to clean it up. So,
well, I think he was cleaning up the mess that was his sanity after he lost it, because he just straight up murdered all his servants that was in the mansion at one time in one room. Here, housekeeping. You know what I mean? It's like,
so on Friday, we didn't stream a retro game. We played some American Truck Simulator to just kind of fill the day, because we had to get prepped for Silent Hill Origins. Again, you can catch the podcast for Silent Hill Origins tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, tomorrow being Tuesday. And there was 2 clips made for American Truck Simulator, so we're just going to watch those because it's within the time frame of Eternal Darkness. And so this one is Let's Try That Again. What happens is, as I'm playing American Truck Simulator, we're listening to the Retro Rewind Days of Old podcasts, and I make a comment on something that was said in the podcast, and I stuttered and butchered the word I was trying to say, and it ended up just being really funny. And then we didn't have a hiccup the whole rest of the night.
Yeah, which I think we need to keep it there.
Oh, it's staying there.
Okay, good.
I'm not
We don't
moving
need
it.
that.
And I haven't moved it. Let's fucking try that again. And I haven't moved it since.
I'm good with words.
Words are hard, dude.
Oh man.
And then this final clip from Friday night is It Ain't Got No Gas in It. What? Oh, is this when I got stuck?
This is the stuck scene, yeah.
So we were delivering a haul of furniture, I think, and I didn't check my right mirror when I took the turn. I didn't take it wide enough, so I got the trailer stuck on a light post. And I think Mr. Ironham in the chat said, ain't got no gas in it, and then I just repeated it out loud.
Give you some problems.
Try more. Shut up.
That's for the giant world.
Sir, I need you to pull over. Too much booster juice.
And then Friday night, we ended up streaming almost an hour longer. I think we streamed 5 hours.
Okay, you just said broke free.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. That's got to be a sound in the stream.
We've got to, especially for that game. We've got to do it. It's been determined. Oh man, yeah.
But yeah, so we streamed Eternal Darkness for 23 hours. So game wise itself, we only played for 16 and a half, I think it was. But we streamed for about 23 hours, 23 and some change, and it was absolutely badass. Do you have any more questions or anything you want to add before we wrap this up here, Ryson?
I'm just ready for Silent Hill Origins, man. Never even seen that game. Never played it. Oh, I'm excited.
Oh, love that game. So much better than Eternal Darkness.
Ooh, that hurts my soul, bro. That hurts my soul. That hurt it. It hurt. Hey, I still say, I still believe it. That was the best Nintendo horror game.
I'm pretty sure it was the only Nintendo horror game because Resident Evil 4 don't count.
No. It doesn't.
Because it wasn't published by Nintendo.
But I still say that Eternal Darkness, for me, it's still my favorite horror game on that console.
I can believe it.
I can't wave on that one. Still my favorite.
But so before we wrap it up, if you were to take at least the 3 horror games I know, Eternal Darkness, Resident Evil 4, and they did the Resident Evil remaster on GameCube as well.
Mm-hmm.
4 is amazing right out of the gate, but I played 4 on PS2, so that's how I know it. So for GameCube, it's just out of the pile for me. So between Eternal Darkness and Resident Evil, the remaster, which I did play on GameCube when it was out, I don't know, man. I like Eternal Darkness got some great moments, but that remaster was the tits.
But the thing is, and even though Resident Evil 4 and the remaster are both on that console, Res 4 I played on PlayStation 2.
Yep.
And I played the original. For me, the remaster was good. I always will pick the original over the remaster.
Okay, has nothing to do with Eternal Darkness, but just a quick question. Did you play the OG Resident Evil on Nintendo 64, or did you play it for PlayStation 1 on the Director's Cut?
PlayStation 1 Director's Cut.
That's the best one.
That's why I was saying, for me, like, yeah, the GameCube one was good, but Director's Cut will always reign supreme.
Right.
So Eternal Darkness for me was better than Res 4 because I played Res 4 on PlayStation. And for me, the gameplay was better on PlayStation than it was on the GameCube.
Right.
The GameCube gameplay was rather wonky for me. And then, yeah, so naturally, I'm going to pick Eternal Darkness to represent GameCube.
Right.
When it comes to horror games.
Well, is there?
Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you. No, you. You, dude. No, but seriously, the thing is, with how unique the setup and design of the game, I give that game so much props for what they did. I wish they would release damn sequel to the game.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because even you agreed live that looked badass.
Oh, the sister successor would have looked really good. It would have looked really good. Is there anything you want to say to our listeners before we sign off?
Fucking awesome.
All right, guys, that was Retro Rewind Days of Old, where we talk retro games, and this was the aftermath of Eternal Darkness. But it took us an entire month to beat the game. It took an entire month. You can catch the podcast for Silent Hill Origins tomorrow at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be starting the Silent Hill Origins stream Thursday, April 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just an announcement for everybody, just so everybody knows, Cupcake, who's also been a part of these podcasts, and she's also part of my mom team, and she's also my wife. We're expecting a baby. Due date is May 26th. So any time between now and May 26th, the baby could come. If it does, I will be taking a week off automatically and putting everything on hold until that week is over to help her heal and spend some time with her newborn. If you want to know when that happens and information on when I'd be back to regular schedule, you need to follow the Through New Eyes Production Twitter page. The link to that will be in the description of this podcast. Okay? And in the description for YouTube if you're listening or watching it on YouTube. But until that happens, Thursday, April 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the first stream of Silent Hill Origins, which is the last game for the Season 1 Retro Rewind Days of Old. And then we will be taking 2 to 3 weeks off to prep for Season 2 because I got some new shit coming for you guys, like pre-shows and all that other good stuff.
Freaking jazzy.
If you're enjoying the podcast, be sure to let us know. Give us a great review. It apparently helps us out. And if you're listening or watching this on YouTube, leave a comment, like the podcast, and share it with other people. Let's build a community. Really trying to get this community growing. And yeah, Ryzen, again, thank you for doing this with me. I know you're going to anyway because you love it. But thank you.
One thing for our listeners. Don't forget to suggest some games.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Don't forget to suggest games. We have Warp System going lives. Come and check it out.
Right, where we will try the game you suggest live. To know more about that, come join a live stream over on Twitch. The tag name is V's Retro Rewind Days of Old, and I will teach you more about that. Plus, you can hang out with the community and just shoot the shit about some retro stuff. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Have a good morning. Try not to get too frustrated at work, and if you're at home, I'm probably at work, so you're lucky, and I'm a little jealous.
Me too. Okay.
And remember, we're going to be an ass. Hey, you have a great day.
You have a great day.
You have a great day, buddy.
You have a greater day. You know what? I'll beat that. You have the greatest day imaginable.
How about all of you have a great day? And don't forget, if you're going to be an ass, be a badass. Stay retro, everybody.